Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Being a Programmer. I am Rajashri and today we have to see the cursor concept in your procedural language or in your pgSQL. In previous videos we can see uh, introduction to your RDBMS as well as what is the code structure of procedural language, then what are the data types in that, as well as we can see uh, attribute variables which are percent type and percent row type attributes, as well as we can see views concept, a stored function which is also known as user defined function. So how to create a stored function, how to run that function, all topics are covered in previous videos. So link is provided into the description box. If you don't watch that video, please go ahead into description box and saw this video also. So without any further ado, let's quickly get started. First, First of all, we can see what is the definition of your cursor, or what is the purpose of your cursor, or why we use cursor. Okay, so look at here. Cursor is a one type of variable. Okay, cursor is just a variable. In that variable, you can store multiple rows. You can store multiple rows at a time in a single variable. That called as cursor. So cursor is a special type of variable which carries or which holds multiple rows or complete result set of a particular query, and after that you can process each row individually whenever you need it. So this is the definition of your cursor. In general, there are different data types provided in your RDBMS or in your SQL language. So those data types, if you can declare a integer data type variable, then you can hold a single integer type of value in that variable, or any type of data type, then you can hold only single type of variable in that single value in that variable. But in case of cursor, you can store multiple rows, that means multiple values at a time in a single attribute, and those rows, those result set uh, are processed individually whenever you need it. This is the cursor. Why we use cursor? So the problem of memory overrun is overcome by using the cursor, because less memory, shorter memory is required in your cursor as compared to other data types, and that's why cursor are mostly usable. In the cursor, you have the opportunity to traverse up and down in your cursor. Why we have to traverse up or traverse down in cursor? Because if you need a particular row for some process, for some operation, then you have to go to that row. So you can traverse up or down in that cursor to find out that row, and then fetch that row to process that row. There are 5 phases in your cursor, and following that phases you can run your cursor or execute the cursor. So first phase is we have to declare a cursor variable, then we have to open that cursor variable, then we can fetch individual row which we have to needed by using fetch command. Then uh, fourth phase is here, which is move phase, which is optional phase. If we can use fetch phase or move phase, both are optional. So move phase is used there for reposition your cursor, and the last phase is close the cursor which is open, and last we have to close that particular cursor. So let's see one by one all the phases. First phase is declaring cursor variable. So first of all, whenever we have to use a cursor or we have to implement a cursor in your function to store the result set of particular query into a cursor, then we have to declare the cursor variable. Okay, we have to declare a cursor variable. So there are two types of cursor variable. First is unbound cursor and second is bound cursor. So what is the unbound and bound cursor? So look at here. Unbound cursor, whenever we have to declare unbound cursor, we use ref cursor data type. A special data type is used here in case of unbound cursor, which is a ref cursor. And whenever the variable name belongs to ref cursor variable data type, we can declare then that cursor is unbound cursor. And what is meaning by unbound? Unbound means that cursor variable cannot bound with any database query or any SQL query. So in case of unbound cursor, at the time of declaration that unbound cursor variable, we can't know that cursor variable is whenever we have to use that variable for particular query. We don't know about that, because this cursor is does not bound with any SQL query. Only we can declare a variable name with data type ref cursor and then last semicolon. This is your unbound cursor variable declaration. So here is the syntax: cursor name you have to provide it first, and then the data type, which is ref cursor, which is indicate the variable is declared here, which is unbound cursor. So here is the example: we can declare a cursor one variable of type ref cursor. That means we declare a variable, we can declare a variable cursor one of unbound variable. Okay, then we have second type, which is bound cursor. So opposite of your unbound cursor is bound cursor. So whenever we declare bound cursor, we can use a data type cursor. In case of unbound cursor, we can use ref cursor bus, but in case of bound cursor, we can use cursor data type. So first of all, the syntax is here. um, Before that, we can discuss what is the bound cursor. So the variable which is declared with type cursor, and along with that variable name you provide a particular SQL query, then that cursor is bound cursor. Because at the time of declaration, cursor variable declaration, we know that this particular variable holds result set of this particular query, and that's why this is the bound cursor. So what is the syntax? So first of all, we have to provide a cursor name, then type, which is cursor. After that, for keyword is used here, and after that for, you can provide any SQL query. That means this is the query of your SQL, and after executing this query, you got some result set, and that complete result set is stored in this cursor name. This is your bound cursor. And here is the example: we can declare a cursor one variable of type cursor. That means this is the bound cursor, and if it is bound cursor, then we have to compulsory bound a SQL query. So we can use for keyword, and here is the SQL query, which is select star from student. We can select all details of student, and the complete result set is stored in your single cursor one variable, which is a bound cursor type. Okay, I hope you understood how to declare a cursor variable. And at the time you can declare a cursor variable, the next phase is open that cursor variable, opening cursor. So whenever we want to open bound cursor, then we have to use only open keyword and then your cursor name, which cursor you have to open. Because we already, at the time of declaration, we already bound this cursor name with a SQL query. Then here at that time we have to only open that cursor. So open and then cursor name variable is provided here. And here is the example: open cursor 1. I hope you understood this, how to open bound cursor. And here opposite your unbound cursor, because at the time of declaration of unbound cursor, we cannot bound any query with that unbound cursor variable. So whenever we open that unbound cursor, we have to attach or we have to assign a particular query to this cursor, unbound cursor. So look at here, open keyword is here, after that your cursor name, then for keyword is here, and after for you have to provide a query. Here is only single for, that's my mistake. A single for is used here, and after that your SQL query is provided here whenever you open unbound cursor, because you have to attach that cursor name to particular query, because at that time you have to open that cursor. That means this is the ready to use cursor variable. So here is the example: open cursor 1 for select star from student, where student name like S%. That means um, we have to select only those student record whose name start with alphabet S, and the complete result set of student whose name start with alphabet S we can store in unbound cursor one variable. Okay, this is the how to open your cursor. Then next phase is fetch cursor, because whenever we saw the definition of your cursor we talk about this, because our cursor is store multiple rows in a single variable and then individually we can process each row. Okay, so whenever we have to access a particular row or particular record from your cursor variable, then we have to fetch that record from your cursor, and that's why this is the third phase, fetch cursor. And syntax for this: fetch keyword is used here, then your cursor name, you have to fetch particular value from your cursor and store into that value in a target variable, because whenever we fetch particular value, that means we can extract a particular row from your cursor variable, we can extract a single record from your cursor, and then we have to store that record for processing into a particular variable, target variable. That's why this is the syntax for your fetch cursor into target. So for example, look at here, fetch cursor, this is cursor is our cursor name, we can fetch particular value from your cursor into x variable. So what happened when we fetch particular value from your cursor? So look at here, whenever we use fetch command, then these fetch we have to return a next value. At that time your cursor suppose is present at first position, then you apply fetch command, then you have to got second position value. That means whenever you are present at current time, then you have to return next levels value by using this fetch cursor. I hope you understood the fetch cursor. Then our fourth type is move cursor. Move cursor is nearby similar to your fetch cursor, but there is a slightly difference in your move cursor, because what is the meaning of move? Move means reposition. Okay, so same meaning is here, because our move cursor is only reposition your cursor. Move does not return any value like fetch. Your fetch cursor command return a single value to you, a particular value written by your fetch cursor. But in case of move cursor does not return any value, it only reposition your cursor. So look at here. Here is the syntax for move cursor. Move keyword is here. Then we have to provide a direction in which direction you have to move the cursor. Okay, that direction is specified after move keyword and then your cursor name. So look at here. Here direction we have to given to your move command. So multiple directions are here, which are last, forward, backward, next, like that. That directions are used here. So here is the example, we can use move cursor 1, that means we have to move to cursor 1. Then second example is here, move last from cursor 1. We have to reposition your cursor to last level in your cursor 1 attribute or cursor 1 variable. We have to go in cursor 1 variable at last position, last direction. That's why we can use last. Then another example is here, move forward 2 from your cursor 1. In cursor 1 variable, your cursor suppose at second position, then here is the direction specified, which is forward 2, and it tells us we have to go forward 2 position from current position. Then move next from cursor 1. This means that in cursor 1 variable we have to go to next position. This is the repositioning your cursor by using move cursor command. And last phase is here, which is close cursor, because we declare cursor, open cursor, then some fetch some values, operate them values, reposition our cursor, and this most and last phase, which is close cursor, because all the uses of cursor are done, then we have to use close that cursor. So simply close keyword is used and then your cursor name, which you have to close. So close cursor 1, here is the example. I hope you understood what is the what are the 5 phases and how that works. So let's see the example. Here is the question. Look at here. Consider a relation. We have to provide a relation or a table name as employee and having fields employee number, employee name, department number, and salary. And we have to write a function to define a cursor to print the details of employee along with commission earned for each employee. We have to define a function or write a function. In that function, we have to define a cursor to print the details of employee. We have to print the details of employee along with their commission as per their salary for each employee. And here the commission amount is told here. For department number 5, there is 20% commission out of the salary of employee, then 50% commission out of salary of employee department number 8, and then 30% salary of 30% commission of salary from your for employees of department number 10. So first of all, we have to calculate the commission for that particular 5, 8, and 10 department numbers employee, and then we have to print the complete result set of employee or complete details of your employee. So first of all, we can create the table. How to create a table? Create table command we can use here. Create table, then table name is here, which is employee, then opening closing parenthesis and last semicolon, and in between these parentheses we have to provide which fields are required in that table. We have to mention that field with their data type. So here is the first field, employee number, having type integer, and primary key constraint is applied here because employee numbers are unique numbers. Then second field I require in this employee table or given field, which is ename, that means employee name, having type varchar and size of varchar is 20. Then third field is required here, which is department number, which is of integer type, and then last field is salary, which is of money type. And this is the how to create a table. We have to provide a query. So after applying this query, this type of table is created here, but we have to insert that insert the values into that table. So how to insert a value into the table? I hope you know that. So I insert three values in this table. So first of all, employee number is 111, having name Priya, and she is work into department number 5, having salary 25,000. Then second value is employee number 112, which is of Sham and working in department number 10, having salary 20,000, and third, which is Ram, working in department number 8 and having salary 30,000. So these are the three records, and as per our need or as per our question, for department number 5 we can apply 20% commission of salary, for department number 8 we can apply 50% of commission, and department number 10 30% commission is applied there. So after calculating as per required commission for those employee, then we can print the details of all employees. So for that we have to create a function, write a function, and in that we have to define a cursor. So first of all, we have to create a function. For that, create function clause is used here. After that, you have to provide a function name, which is cursor demo name. I provided here. This cursor demo returns integer type of value. After that, your declaration section is start here. So first of all, look at here. I declare emp record variable, and for that variable, we define a type. For that, we declare here percent row type attribute. And what doing percent row type attribute? Particular tables complete row type is apply to your that variable. So emp record variable having type of employee tables complete row. Okay, complete row is stored into your emp record variable. After that, cemp, I have to declare a cursor having name cemp. Okay, so I provide here a variable name CEMP having type cursor. That means this is a bound cursor, and if it is bound cursor then we have to bound a particular query. So for keyword is used here, and after that for keyword we can provide a query select star from employee, because first of all I have to select all the records present in employee table, because after that I can check the employee which is present in department number 5 or 8 or 10, and then apply that particular commission and calculate that value. So first of all I have to select all employee records from your employee table. That's why I apply SQL query select star from employee, and after executing this query the result set or the table is achieved or returned for me, and that result set I store into CEMP variable. Okay, after that I declare a commission variable having type double, because I have to calculate commission. This is the declaration part over here. After that the begin block is started here, or actual procedural block working is started here. So first of all I declare here a CEMP cursor, then in begin under begin block I have to open that cursor. So open keyword is here, and this is CEMP is a bound cursor, that's why only cursor name is provided here. After that I use a basic loop here, because I have to iterate in complete result set, or I have to check complete result set, because each and every employee I have to check which is present in department number 5 or 8 or 10, and then apply the commission as per the department, and then I have to print all the records of every employee. Okay, and that's why I use here a basic loop, because I have to iterate in that employee table or in that cursor variable which holds a complete result set of your employee. Okay, after that by using loop keyword, under this loop keyword I use a fetch command here, or fetch phase here, because I have to fetch a particular record, a individual row from your CEMP cursor, because in each row each employee record is stored there. Whenever I fetch CEMP, that means I access individual record here, and after accessing this individual record then I store it into EMP record variable, which is declared in our declaration part. Okay, so this is the EMP record variable which hold the complete row fetch from or extract from your CEMP cursor. After that I have to check that record, that means that employee is in department number 5 or is in department number 8 or is in department number 10, and for that I use if then statement here. So first of all if EMP record dot department number, that means in this EMP record variable we store a complete row which is fetched from your CEMP, and in that row the department number field is there, and if the department number field is available in your EMP record then check the department number is 5. If it is yes or true then you have to execute this statement, that means commission equal to, we have to calculate commission according to salary of that employee. So commission equal to EMP record dot salary, that means EMP record variable holds a row, and in that row whatever salary is there access that salary and multiplied by 20%, that means 0.2, and whatever the result which is our commission for your department number 5. But if your employee is not in department number 5 then what, then we have to check another department, that means else if EMP record dot department number, that means EMP record hold a particular row and in that row you have to department number 8, then you have to execute these statement, that means commission equal to employee record dot salary into 0.5, because we have to increase or we have to apply commission 50% for department number 8, and commission is calculated over your salary, and that's why EMP record dot salary we have to access a salary which is stored in that particular EMP record variable and then multiplied by 0.5, that means 50% to that salary, and this is your commission. But our employee is not in department number 8, not in department number 5, then what, another else part is here. If That means a single department is remaining here, which is department number 10. If our department number which is present in EMP record variable is 10, then we have to execute this expression commission equal to salary which is present in EMP record variable and fetch that salary and multiplied that salary by 30%, that means 0.3. And these are the calculations how to calculate the commission for a particular employee of department number 5, 8 and 10. After that, we end all ifs which are open here, and after executing this, we can raise notice means we can print some output to user on console. So raise notice is apply here. In that, we have to print all the details with their commission. Okay, we have to print all the details of employee with their commission. So first of all, I print emp record dot eno, that means employee number for that particular record variable, then employee name which is available in your EMP record, then your department number which is available in your EMP record, then your salary which is available in or which is held by your EMP record, and then the salary which is calculated in this loop, commission which is calculated in this loop. All the records along with their commission we can display of employee. And after that, this loop is continuously executed, but the condition is, any condition is here, at that time we have to exit from this loop, and we have to specify the exit keyword after when, exit keyword belongs when, because the basic loop, it says that loop, whenever we use loop keyword, that means we begin the basic loop, and whenever we write exit keyword, that means we exit from this basic loop, and whenever we have to exit from this loop, we have to provide a condition. So here, exit when not found, that means we cannot found any value, then we have to exit. Whenever we discuss fetch command, that time we discuss fetch return next value in your cursor, and if there is no next value available in your cursor, then you have to return a null value, that means your cursor is over, all values are fetched by using this fetch command. And after that, I open this loop using loop command, and last I end that loop. Here I open a CEMP cursor, and all the execution or all the working of CEMP is done. Then I have to close that CEMP cursor, and then this begin block is ended here. And after that, language PLPG SQL. This is your cursor, how to write a cursor or how to declare cursor variable, how to open that cursor variable, how to fetch that values from your cursor. All the things are discussed here. I hope you understood your cursor. Let me know in the comment section this video is helpful for you or not. If this video is helpful for you, please do like to this video, also share with your friends because they also got help from this video. As well as let me know in the comment section on which topics you want to saw the video. If you want more examples of your cursor, then please let me know in the comment section, because I try to create the video on that topic also. In next video, we see the trigger in your PostgreSQL. So stay tuned for your next video, and if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to my channel. Also hit the bell icon for such new videos. And watching this video, thank you so much. Stay tuned.